You poor naive chump.
Anyways, that fell apart really fast.
Yeah, I don't know about keeping that one in.
I highly recommend not doing that.
We may have to start the whole fucking episode over.
That hurt. That one hurt me. You can keep in the part where I showed you the thing, but you don't have to keep in the part where I did the intro. Not that I mean I just said welcome. I wouldn't know.
Yeah. That was a rough start.
That was funny. That one that'll be saved in the archives forever.
Fair enough. Well, how you want to what? This will be our cold open. Hello, everybody. My name is.
What are you talking about?
My name is Isaac, also known as Timothy Plaid. This is my boy over here, Ck, also known as Ghozte.
Hey, what's happening?
How you doing, buddy?
You know what? Every day is a test, and thank God I'm a good test taker because I did not study.
What's been testing you recently? Tell me your woes.
All right. I look like a young Dr. Phil. This may as well be a therapy session.
Okay.
I don't know, man. You just sometimes you get really, really depressed for what seems like
enough.
no reason.
We've all been there.
And then you just lay in bed with your wiener dog and you contemplate doing something. But you don't.
Okay.
I mean, like, you contemplate getting up and, like, being productive.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry. That was
concerned for
that
you.
was a
like,
little
CK.
ominous. No. That was a little...
I think we need to shut the podcast off and have a real talk.
No. Don't you understand? We're going to be stars. We have to put all of our mental health problems on air for everyone else to see.
That's right. Yeah.
Like we have to be these wacky characters. We have to be, interesting. Like, everyone's favorite Kardashian.
Who's your favorite Kardashian?
You know what? I think I know the name of two of them. And I couldn't even tell you what Kim Kardashian looks like. I think every time I've seen a picture of her, I was repulsed. But
repulsed?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just...
I mean, she's an attractive woman, but she's not that attractive. Like, she's a normal looking woman, but there's no need for someone to get repulsed.
I must have just seen, like, Photoshop memes or some shit. Or, like, just
Probably,
really unflattering
like the
pictures.
Simpsons that you just sent me.
The Simpsons with an underbite instead of an overbite. You didn't like that?
I'm going to be putting those on screen right now for everyone else to enjoy.
Let's give credit to the original author.
Yes, sir.
I will set you up with that.
Okay. Well, there it is. There's Homar, Bert, Marg, and Liza.
And Lizzie. Yeah. The Sampsons. The samples. The free samples.
So, remember last week we were talking about things that disappointed us?
Yes.
I have a very fantastic example of that. Mm-hmm. So, I've been watching a regular show with Kelly.
Oh, no.
For a while. And every time I see an episode, like, oh, I remember that episode, it was really good, I tell her, whoa, this is a good one. And it's so lame. Like, it's not bad. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Regular show is a good show. But it's not as good as I remember it being. You know what I mean? You understand where I'm coming from?
I always remember that show having really highs like really good episodes and then really nothing episodes.
Yeah, that's a good way to put that. But my favorite episode is the 150 piece kit.
Oh yeah,
Remember that episode?
that is
Yeah.
a good episode. Mine is always gonna be I think Mississippi Queen.
I like that one. Mississippi Queen is really good. That's the one
I
that.
named my hot sauce, like my homemade hot sauce, after that.
Oh really?
That's why it was called Mississippi Queen.
I didn't realize that. Huh?
Yeah,
I thought it was after the song.
I was an asshole who would always like play the song whenever I pulled the hot sauce out.
Yeah, no. So I was watching 150 piece kit. I've been anticipating this episode. It seems like a season 1 or 2 episode, by the way, which is a good thing. You know, well, yeah, it's a good thing. You know, when you can kind of think about your. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna go off on a tangent. I have a complaint.
Okay.
No, continue,
Go ahead.
please.
Okay,
No,
well,
I can save it.
All right. Well, 150 piece kit was my favorite episode because I remember the drum solo being so fucking cool. Like it was so lively and fun. I just had a good time with it.
All right, when you say lively and fun, I automatically feel like you're being disingenuous.
No, I'm not.
It's just the way you said it.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, I carry on.
It was a solo that I remembered. I never really looked it up after watching it, but it was something that like I remembered, and I was like, wow, that was actually really cool. And I've been anticipating this episode for about 4 seasons now. And so I'm talking to Kelly, and I'm like, okay, this is it. This is the episode. And we get to the part where he plays the drum solo, and it's framed as the world's hardest drum solo. I bet a beginner could play this drum solo, to be completely honest with you. And I'm not gonna... I have a friend that's a drummer, and he's very talented, I'm sure. It's hard work. But that was such a lackluster solo in my eyes. Like, I know why it was hard in the episode, because, like, it's 150 pieces, and it's all spread out or whatever. But, like... It was just really disappointing to listen to. It wasn't as cool as I thought, and that was really disappointing.
I think what it is because we're both band nerds, is we understand the actual musicality of that, and it really takes away, because when you're a kid and you don't know anything, you don't know any better about music, like you don't understand even like an iota of music theory, all music sounds good. And then when you understand, like, oh, this is like higher level percussion, or you know, this is kind of just a mess. Because you spent so much time immersed in musicality, I think it really takes away from your ability to just enjoy something. That's something I find a lot these days, is I can't listen to a lot of old songs I used to like because I can hear how quote unquote bad the song is.
Right.
It makes me feel pretentious, but you know, I don't.
Yeah, I always have that fear in my head when I start talking about something like that. And it's like, am I just not appreciating it for what it is, or am I being an asshole about it? But anyway, your tangent, please.
All right. So, I love cartoons.
I love cartoons as well.
I want to make cartoons.
I want to watch your cartoons.
I you know what? I'm watching cartoons like every day because it's fun to do. But Cartoon Network had a lot of really good shows. I would say, what was it, like 2010 is when Adventure Time came out, right?
Yeah, I would say that's
like right around that time.
Right.
They
Maybe
kind of
2009.
They introduced a new era of cartoons, because before it was like episodic stuff like Courage the Cowardly Dog and Ed, Edd and Eddy, which are still they're like classic cartoons. They're considered classic now. And Kids Next Door, another good example of that. So that the Adventure Time shift, they focused on more story-based shows. There was more continuity. There was a more focus on character development as opposed to just funny plot.
Right.
And then inevitably came like what I think ruins a lot of these shows is the romance aspect of it. And Cartoon Network just seems to eat that shit up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's like it's crazy how many romantic interests Finn has. Like, if you just look at the show and you just like you go to you Wikipedia that shit. Why? It's a kids show.
Right.
Why? I understand that a lot of people were growing up with the show, but
why do so many girls want to get in there?
It's weird, right? Because I want people to be able to express and tell a story, and kids have romantic interests, like teenagers and shit. People who grew up with the show who are now all like young adults. I get that, but I think at the same time you do have to consider the younger audience that is still coming in to this show, and it's just, I think, me personally, funnily enough, I think the internet is very bad for you, and I just think that's another that's bad in the same way the internet is bad.
Gotcha. Yeah,
I just think it's me personally. I don't care for a romance subplot, especially in my children's cartoons.
Yeah.
Now,
there's certain places where it works and it's somewhat necessary.
The thing, okay, for to be specific with Adventure Time, the subplot with Finn and Princess Bubblegum, that was funny to start off with, and then it just became sad, and eventually they played it out, and they they gave it a proper rest, supposedly. I don't know.
Right.
But they could have just that could have been it, and that would have been fine. I wouldn't care about that. That it's funny. It's like having a crush on the teacher, right?
Right. Yeah. I think that's what they were going for, like a crush on a babysitter, basically.
And it just all became like serious relationships, and I was like, why? I get, like, if I'm watching something like I don't even know. I can't think of like an adult cartoon that I watch at the moment. Like like Archer. If there's like a romantic subplot going across the show with that, sure, okay, I don't care. Or like if I'm watching like the Justice League, if we're watching Batman fuck his entire like A list of villainesses, which is something he does, then okay, this is like a more adult themed cartoon. It fits. That's it. That's my complaint. Less romance in my kids' shows.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't need it.
It's weird how often it happens too.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, regular show got really serious about it for a very solid streak. Like, midway through the show, they got real relationship heavy. And
which beforehand, they had like the silly little crush thing, which
yes,
is normal.
Right?
Well, like, I feel is normal for most cartoons, especially Cartoon Network, which I know you said, but like silly little crush is like the main thing, and then usually they either get with the girl and it doesn't work out or something like that. Like, I'm really just only thinking of regular show here, just because that happens like twice. Didn't
like the artists at least move on to like another show about bird people?
I don't think so. I think he made another show called Close Enough, and that's basically regular show how he wanted it.
Yeah, it's like adult themed. Like full on adult theme. Well, there's another one. It's called like Tuca and Birdie, and it looks like Mordecai.
That is from That's from the people who did BoJack Horseman.
Oh, okay. So that's why it looks so similar.
Yeah.
They're similar styles.
I would say so. I actually really enjoy the concept. Like, this is more of a design concept than anything, but I really enjoy the not everybody in this world is a human, and it's totally normal. Like BoJack Horseman. Like, I found that amazing to me. Just
it's like the idea of just having, like, aliens. Like, it's like Star Wars. You just have aliens mingling with humans, mingling with aliens.
Yeah, it increases the potential for story, I guess.
Well, it makes you feel like this world is lived in. It has, like, a lore. Like, these people coexist.
Right.
They are equals.
I agree.
Yeah. That was cartoons.
Good agree.
Had a story, didn't I?
I think so. I think you did say that you had something prepared.
Not
prepared per se, but you did have something that you wanted to talk about.
All right, let me look at what I said, because that's important. That will remind me. Ah, yes. All right. So, yeah, I try eating healthy. I try my best. Right.
Right.
You can. I cook for me and my girlfriend pretty often. And one staple in our house is rice. We have a rice cooker. We eat a lot of rice as a side with our meals because I cook a protein in a different, like with different seasonings, and we're like, okay, side of rice. Super easy. Something my dad told me about when I was younger is to always check the bags of rice when you buy them. Because
I've always heard that one.
Yeah, if you move around a bag of rice in the corners of the inside of the bag, you see the grain sticking to the side, and there you might see some filament. Then that bag has Indian meal moths. The larvae are intermixed with the rice because that's where the moths lay their eggs, and they survive. The eggs survive the factory process. Well, I didn't buy rice, or we didn't buy rice. We were given rice from a family member, and it was just in a box. It had a bag in it, but the bag wasn't fully sealed. And so I'm laying in bed one night, and my cat Mercy, she's a menace. She's a gremlin, a little goblin. She wakes me up in the middle of the night because she's on the bed yelling at the ceiling. Because there's something on the ceiling that she wants. It's a bug. My girlfriend's awake because, the cat's being stupid. I'm turning on the light. And I think it was, we were awake anyways because of our schedule. It wasn't like, I remember some sort of grogginess, but there were grubs on the ceiling. There were fucking...
Ew.
Yeah, there were moth larvae.
Grubs. Gross.
So, I was so mad. And immediately I'm like, what the fuck? Because it was only a couple in the bedroom. There was like one on the ceiling and then another one further away. But come out into the living room, and it's connected to the kitchen, and our trash can used to be up against, or not up, it used to be right next to one of the walls in the kitchen, and just crawling up the side of the wall from the trash can was just an army of moth larvae.
Because they were declaring war on the cats.
Remember how I said that the bag around the box of rice that had been gifted to us wasn't fully sealed? We threw the rice away because it wasn't fully sealed.
Right. It was a smart thing to do.
Overnight, our army was overtaken. And our
That
house
is a fucking
was seized.
horror movie.
No, but it gets worse. It gets so much worse because that's just D-Day. That's not even V-Day. That is like that's dawn of the first day. And it goes on for months. Like a year. This goes on. I am fighting these moths in my house. Because what happens is we used to keep, we have a pantry next to our kitchen, and we used to keep food, and we used to keep our food in there, and then we'd also keep the dog and cat food on the bottom, just sitting on the floor.
Right.
The moths got into the dog food. They used a 50-pound bag of dog food to multiply.
What the fuck?
And I say that. It didn't sit in there long enough for them to use the whole bag. Like, the bag probably had like 16 pounds left in it. And I think when we threw it away, that was about it. We couldn't keep it, and we couldn't feed it to the dog. But basically, if you we just abandoned the pantry. That was no man's land. That was lost territory. I'm not even joking when I say we like put a towel under the door to the pantry and just left it for dead. We said we're not going in there.
You lost it to the moths.
I bought Raid. That didn't work. I
Isn't
installed.
your dad an exterminator?
Yes.
You couldn't implore his services.
You know what ended up? Yeah, it's funny because I used like 3 different pest control products, and none of those worked. But then I took peppermint oil and a little bit of bleach and water, of course, and mixed that together, and I got rid of them all.
Oh. Bleach.
Yeah, just a very, very small amount. It was
okay. I was about to say, I was like, that's going in the pantry.
We don't put food in there anymore.
Right.
Yeah, we actually have a kitchen island that we since we don't hold a lot of groceries.
Well, you want to know what? There's something to be learned from this experience.
Properly seal all grains and starches.
Yes.
Even when you're throwing them away.
Yes.
Otherwise, your house...
And when you throw them away, throw them outside.
Yeah. Otherwise, your house will be taken over in a hostile invasion.
You'll have to go to war with the moths. How long was it until you actually got rid of them?
It was over a year. I wasn't even joking when I said that.
Yeah, I didn't think you were. That's crazy. I couldn't do that. We have drain flies here, and it's fucking pissing me off.
Oh, I hate
It's not
fruit
even a
flies.
lot.
Fruit flies are worse than moths, because the moths, for the most part, would leave you alone. The only annoying thing they did is when you're laying in bed at 3 a.m. looking at your phone, like 3 of them would dive bomb your phone, and it was every night. So that was cool. I totally wasn't 2 hours late to work the other night.
Tell me about that.
I woke up at midnight when I was supposed to be at work at 10 o'clock. And,
Dude.
Well, it was cool because I showed up to work. I'm like, hey, I'm here. And you know what? I still managed to get all my work done.
Oh, good.
And my manager was like, I got you. I'm not even going to put this on your attendance.
Nice.
So I, feeling like a baller, honestly.
You are pretty baller.
I flashed him the titties, and he was like, "Okay, free to go."
I mean, shit, if you're not late every single time you go to work, when you're that outrageously late, you can kind of get a pass for it.
Yeah, I totally lied. I gave an excuse, not that I even needed to. But I was like, yeah, my power ran out, so my alarms didn't go off. My bad.
Well, great. Now you're going to become famous. He's going to listen to this episode. And he's going to be like, that little fucker.
Damn, you're right.
He's literally going to say that.
My boomer boss is going to watch, he's going to listen to this. He's going to listen to your little fucking... What is it? What is the word? Rinky dink? Yeah.
Dink.
Yeah. I was trying to think of like the most condescending but goofy sounding word. That was the one I came up with.
Rinky dink.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you remember Shrinky Dinks?
No.
I remember Shrinky Dinks.
That sounds like something rich kid, like not even like rich kids. That's something middle class kids had.
Well, the thing is that we did this in elementary school, like as a class. We basically what it is, it's this plastic sheet. Like if you were holding up a regular piece of computer paper, it was probably about a quarter of a sheet of paper. And what you do is you draw on it or like cut it or whatever. And then when you were done with it, it was like special markers that you did it with. You put it in the oven, and after it was done, it would shrink, and then you could make it like a keychain or a necklace or something cool like that. And I remember I always have this problem when I work with little things. I like to put a lot of fucking details in there for some reason. So when I was in elementary school, we did this project. I just drew a picture of a dinosaur in a field, like attacking something. And when it shrunk, like you couldn't even tell what the fuck it was.
It was an amorphous blob.
Yeah, and like you were supposed to make it into a necklace. So it was this dinosaur doing whatever the fuck it was doing. It was this piece of wire, not wire, but like that plastic weed eater wire. And then like a bunch of beads that didn't match. And I wore that around for like a good week.
You know what? I was never the kid to wear his arts and crafts. Even when we made those necklaces out of the really itchy twine in like kindergarten and shit. Mm-hmm. I didn't do that because my alopecia makes it to where I'm too sensitive. I actually just can't twine on my skin makes me feel like I have ants crawling all over me. It's pretty awful.
I don't want to be ants.
No. And like as a kid, you can't express that. You're just like, no, I don't like that. It hurts. And the teacher's like, no, you're fine. You're fine.
I gotta say, elementary school teachers are probably either the best or the worst human beings, and there's no in between.
I think that's just all teachers.
Hate elementary school teachers. Like I decided that, well, maybe I didn't decide. I mean, obviously, this is a conversation that Kelly and I would have to have. But I'm seriously considering when we have kids, like, I'm not going to let them go through elementary school. Because that was a fucked up place. Like, there's a story, I'm pretty sure I told it before, but it's burned into my fucking brain. I was sitting in class one day. This was like 4th grade. And fair enough, I should have been paying attention to what was going on. But what I was doing was I was taking a bunch of Post-it notes and I was making a little house because I was artistic like that, I guess. And I was making this little house, and all of a sudden my teacher is like, "Isaac, what the fuck are you doing?" She didn't say fuck, I think, but she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm making a house." She was like, "Oh, you're making a house, are you? Okay, we'll see about that." So she goes to a neighboring classroom to grab another teacher. She brought her into the other classroom, and she was like, "Look what he's doing." And the other teacher was like, "What is that? Are you making a house?" And I was like, "Yeah." And we were like learning about Abraham Lincoln or whatever. So she was like, "Well, is it at least a log cabin?" And I was like, "No, it's just a pink house." And she was like, "Oh, a pink house." And I was just crushed because I was just like, I was just like, this is something I was working. I don't know. I'm sorry. And it was just the worst. And so my teacher basically was like, here, give me that. And she like squished it and then threw it away. And like, here's what a good teacher would do. She would recognize that I'm not paying attention to the lesson. She'd recognize that I'm doing something creative. And she'd be like, hey, that's kind of cool, but don't do that right now. We're doing something else. And that would be the end of it. I probably wouldn't even remember the conversation today. I'm 22 years old. This happened when I was 9. It's burned into my brain.
No,
remember this.
The fact that she left the classroom to go collect another teacher to laugh at you.
She bullied me.
She brought her fucking friend, her posse, to come to put you in your place. That you can't even be mad at her. That is such an alpha move.
Listen, that would be funny if it was like a shitty sitcom on ABC.
That would be funny if it wasn't a real child.
This was real life. I was a real kid with real emotions.
Holy shit. That's like getting bad service at a restaurant. So I call you and we wait the 2-hour trip it takes you to get here.
And then we laugh at the service.
Yeah, and then I just make fun of the waiter. And then I still end up paying the bill because that's my job.
What is this? You ordered baby back ribs? No, I ordered filet mignon. Filet mignon? Dude, teachers honestly are some of the worst. The worst experiences I've ever had in life were with teachers, and not even like just elementary school. Like in middle school, you might remember this because I think we were in the same class. We may not have been though. So no, we didn't go to middle school the first year together, right? Or were we split up in 8th grade?
I have no idea. The split was in 8th grade.
Oh right, yeah. So when we were in elementary or middle school, this was probably either 6th or 7th grade. The band teacher had a bunch of jury duty for some reason, like an outrageous amount of jury duty. Like it was like every other Tuesday or something like that. So she would get a substitute teacher in, and we would watch like Fat Albert or something.
Oh my god!
There was one day that we were actually supposed to be watching something productive, and I remember, I don't know what was going through my head, but I was wearing a hoodie, I was cold, and I didn't want to pay attention, I guess. So what I did was I was in my seat, I put my legs on the seat and my knees up to my chest. I took my hoodie and I just completely covered myself in my hoodie. I put the hood on my head and just like turtled myself. And I was just singing Fat Albert to myself. I mean, clearly I was disrupting like what was going on here, but I was just sitting there minding my own business. And all of a sudden this old guy is like, hey, you with the hoodie. So I popped my head up and he was like, hey, are you disrupting my class? And I was like, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to, or something like that. And he was like, get out of here. And I was like, huh? He was like, go to the office. And I was like, okay. So I went, and the teacher was like, or the person in the office was like, what are you doing here? And I was like, I was just told to come here. And she was like, all right, you can just hang out with me for a minute until class is over. And then I just sat with her until class was over.
God, it's just like, as soon as a situation arises that they weren't explicitly told how to handle, just like, oh, okay, yeah, you can, yeah, fuck class, you can just sit there.
Yeah, like I didn't even. Okay, so to be fair, I was being a little shit. I mean, maybe not a little shit. I was just kind of doing my own thing. But he could have easily been like, hey, don't do that. And I would most likely just have been like, okay, and then didn't do it anymore. Like, he just went from 0 to 100 on that.
Nah.
That was, the person I actually sat with was Miss Wendy. Do you remember her?
I think so.
Yeah, she got cancer like in the middle of 7th grade, and she just like died.
Damn, that's rough.
I know. I guess you don't remember her, but I remembered her. We talked a lot.
No,
I mean, it wasn't. It was. Anyway, moving on. Got any class stories?
No, not really. I mean,
I would say that you were pretty well behaved as a student. You know what I mean?
yeah. After fucking 6th grade, yes. Okay, all right. I have a story. This is current events. All right. So, my dog is famous around the world for eating toxic volumes of toxic things and surviving. So,
Alright.
He survived many things. His recent, what he ate yesterday that he is suffering from right now?
What do you eat?
Half a pint. Think of that. Think of that quantity. Half a pint of petroleum jelly.
Dude.
Vaseline.
Are you serious?
Yes.
He did it so he could eat faster.
His shit has the consistency of Vaseline.
Oh my god, dude. I bet that shit's just flying out.
Mercy is sniffing him because he's whining at the door. Bailey went out for a walk while I record.
Okay. Good for her.
But no, he's okay. We got him checked up on.
The fuck?
He won't even die. It gives him diarrhea.
Well, yeah, I didn't think he was gonna die, but still.
Mercy is rubbing all over Dante. I think she's about to go into heat. Lovely.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, guys. The best part about getting a cat is dealing with them when they're in heat.
I'm not gonna. No, thank you.
I want to get them fixed. It's just expensive.
Yeah. Isn't it a little bit too late now to get her fixed?
No, you can get pets fixed anytime. There are like optimal times for certain like behavioral changes, but Dante had to get fixed.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Otherwise, he would have died. Yeah, his prostate was too big. He was 1 year old suffering from 17-year-old dog problems.
Poor guy.
They're like, yeah,
Dachshunds
his nuts
are an anomaly of
health
dogs.
issues.
Yes.
Like the vet was like, his nuts have got to go. They're killing him.
Like I only learned recently that dachshunds are like compulsive eaters, and they'll just fucking eat.
Pika. They have Pika syndrome or whatever it's called, where they stress eat. Like they'll eat their nails. Yeah. Like chewing on your nails is a form of pica, or eating mattresses is a form of pica. It's just eating something to cure stress. You're my old dog Shelby, the really really big wiener dog.
Yeah, I actually just saw a video of her the other day that I took.
She had pica. And it's the same thing. Like, does Sizzles lay in the bed with you guys?
No. She's too old. She can't get up there.
I was about to say, I don't know if you guys like pick her up or not, but I'm sure if she did, she would crawl under the blankets and lick your legs.
I bet. Yeah, no. Well, actually, so we don't put her on the bed because, she's too old to get up there and she's too old to get down, and she'd probably shit all over the bed. But I know that whenever Kelly like puts on her face for the day, Sizzle will come up and lick her ankles.
Yeah, Shelby would lay under the blankets and lick one stroke, because she was like a wiener dog, but 4 times as big, but the same shape, just 4 times as big, and you can attest to this.
Yeah, I can.
And she just had a huge fucking tongue that she would just in one motion lick all the way up your calf, and she would just do that all night.
Oh, dude, I wouldn't be able to survive. Oh, dude, I love Shelby.
I loved her so much.
I was just
Fuck
telling
my
Kelly the
bitch of
other
an
day
ex
about
who made me lose that sweet little dog.
fuck that. I'm so sad. I remember one of my favorite memories about Shelby was I don't remember
Yes.
why we had her, but it was you, me,
And
Tyler,
Michael.
Michael. Oh man, it's somebody else. I want to say Alex. It was too many people for my truck. And Shelby. So it was 5 dudes and this wiener dog. And this is
Yes,
the truck I have now with
sir.
that covered back. And we were driving around. I don't know what the fuck we were doing. And then all of a sudden, we hang out. We hang out all day. We do whatever.
Okay, you gotta
And
explain
then
why this happens.
I don't remember why the dog was in there in the first place.
Remember,
Let me get to the funny part, and then you can explain it.
okay.
Because I don't know what the fuck happened. But we were driving around. It was just us. I drop you guys off for the day. Whatever. I go home. 2 days later. This is the middle of summer. 2 days later, I open up the back of my truck to get something. And there's just a pile of barf. Just in the corner of my truck. I don't know why.
I didn't know it was there.
There's just a huge pile of barf in the middle of summer where it's baking in this truck. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Okay. So what happened is, this was after this was like right after I'd gotten kicked out of my exes, right?
Yeah.
So I still had Shelby, but she was bouncing around between houses much like I was.
Yeah.
Because the places I was staying at couldn't keep a dog, but I couldn't stay at the places that could keep Shelby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I wish I could have taken Shelby. She was a good.
She's in a good home. She went back to where her parents came, or she went back to her
Yeah.
parents, basically.
I know. I'm glad that she is.
But we were all hanging out because she was staying with Michael's family, but she was gonna go from Michael's family to my dad's house so that we could take her up to where she was going, right?
Right.
So you were helping us transfer the dog, essentially, but we were all
Right,
hanging
yeah.
out as well. And I was riding illegally in the back of your.
Dude, everybody was riding illegally.
Yeah.
Because you didn't want to leave the dog alone. Alex wanted to hang out with you. And Michael also wanted to hang out with you. So I was driving by myself while you all were in the back.
I thought Tyler was there. I thought Tyler rode in the cab
Tyler.
with you.
Tyler did for a minute, and then he was like, I'm going to go pet Shelby. Dog. Dachshunds are fucking weird. I don't understand them.
They're cute.
They are cute. I gotta say, Sizzle is really old, but she's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
If I had 3 wishes, 2 of those wishes would be to fix. I would make it so that they didn't suffer from back problems.
Yeah, I feel bad for her. She has bad backs.
We
Back
we
problems.
can't get Dante to stop jumping.
Well,
He's gonna be an old man.
yeah,
He's gonna need a wheelchair.
poor guy.
You know, a wheelchair will probably be the best thing to happen to him. It'll prevent him from eating
Yeah,
stupid shit.
he's gonna grow up and he's gonna be like, oh, I remember those days. What a fucking idiot.
I remember when I could eat styrofoam like the cool kids. No, but I did just recently. I was looking under my bed, and I keep my saxophones, my drafting table, like just a bunch of old like art equipment and shit that I don't use often down there. And I
Right.
look under, and just out, it's behind view of one of my saxophone cases is a spot of the rug, and I'm looking under the bed, just seeing if, because that's where Dante hides stuff. I was seeing what he decided to hide today. There's a giant hole in my carpet.
Oh no. Well, that's just more shit for you to fix.
It's the third giant hole in my carpet.
I'm glad that he barked just to let everyone know that he's there.
Yep. Thank you, Dante. Thank you, buddy. But you know what? I don't think it's him that does that. I don't know. I thought he was an ugly puppy. He looked like a little like old man.
He looked like an elephant gnome.
Well, I'm glad he survived your fucking wrath.
That was
the
weird.
the last surviving member of the tribe, and he's my dog.
Just for context to anyone listening,
Dante.
I had a really weird dream where I was living in this village full of elephant gnomes. They were about as big as your thumb. There were just a bunch of elephant gnomes. I lived among them, and everything was fine. And then one day I just fucking killed all of them, and I don't have an explanation of why.
He did it in cold blood. He was their friends. He was at their graduations, their quinceañeras,
weddings, baby showers, bar mitzvahs.
He was the coordinator for every gender reveal for every elephant gnome.
And they all died at the hands of me. I was letting Sizzle out the other day. Oh, no. I was going to work. Because, I kind of go to work early and go to work, come back home late.
Yes.
And Sizzle is senile. And, we let her out every morning. She doesn't need a leash because she's not going to run away. She's too slow. And we were trying to let her out. And she couldn't figure out the door. Like, we were opening it, but she was trapped behind it. Like, she couldn't figure out how to get out. So instead of figuring out how to get around the door, she just decided to poop on the rug.
Awesome.
She was so stressed out that she just... she couldn't figure it out, so she just pooped on the rug. Okay, dude, I'm drinking this hard coffee by Pabst.
It's a PBR.
And it was good the first time I tried it. But now I don't like it.
I can't try it.
Why?
I don't mix caffeine and alcohol. I'm also...
I don't even know if this has caffeine in it.
I'm not drinking alcohol anymore.
Why not?
I don't want the calories.
The calories?
Yeah.
Does alcohol have calories?
It's nothing but sugar, Isaac.
Alcohol?
Yes.
Really?
Really?
Alcohol makes you fat?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no. This whole time I thought alcohol made you skinnier.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't. Oh, my apartment's gym just opened up today. So
that's
guess
cool.
Who's not going to use it?
This guy.
Actually, I've been thinking about it. I need to go to the gym, and I'm too lazy to get a gym membership. So I have a free one here, so why not use it?
And then you're going to run into your neighbors one time, be so embarrassed, and never go again.
Ah, dude. That's true. The guy above me that drives that little Miata that I was telling you about, he knows Donut Media and he does a lot of car stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he I've been trying to save up for a Civic to kind of get into that car scene. And I don't know how to drive a manual. So I'm already behind everybody else, but he said that he would teach me in his Miata.
Oh, that's
but
I know something you don't know. That's a manly skill.
Well, technically I know how. I'm just not confident.
Okay, I mean? No, never mind. We're in the same boat then.
Like I've driven stick before. I just haven't driven it enough to, like, if I got the car that I wanted tomorrow, I wouldn't be confident driving it off the lot.
I think I learned how to drive stick in this super jacked up, like Dodge Ram. It was just this monster of a truck. It was ugly and I hated it.
Is it whose truck I'm thinking it is?
No, my dad was just like, no, you're thinking of a shitty Ford Ranger.
That's a Ford. Whoa, hold on now.
No, like
how about we can the Ranger slander here?
No, you're thinking. No, it's a. See, you got to think. There were 3 Rangers in my life, and each one was more decrepit than the last.
What are you talking about? I own 2 of those.
I didn't know about the first Ranger. We weren't really close around that time.
Oh right, we weren't actually. It wasn't until I had my Accord.
Wasn't the fucking beat up truck my ex's family drove around in? Wasn't that a really old Ranger?
It might be a 150.
Like it's a really old Ford.
Yeah. No, it was probably a 150.
Michael drove another. Michael was the other Ranger.
Was he? I thought he had an Explorer.
He had the beat up Blue Ranger.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember?
He never drove it.
The transmission died in it.
Yeah.
And then the transmission died in the other car. And then the transmission died in the other car.
I just like to imagine that Michael was just going from park to reverse.
He's on the interstate and he's like, oh man, wouldn't it be really funny if I just put it in reverse?
Man, no, that Ranger, I forgot that we didn't hang out until I had an Accord. My first Ranger I got in a wreck with. That was stupid.
Please just imagine Baby Driver in its entirety, but it's Michael. And the entire soundtrack is music he listens to. And
the only car he drives is his orange Mustang.
No, it's the Ranger. It's the beat up Ranger. No, he drives 3 different cars, because the transmission keeps dying.
I love that movie though.
I only saw it once with Brian in his living room.
Oh.
Because his dad was watching it. And I was like, oh, okay. It was like one of those moments where like you know, like a really weird commercial's playing when you walk in the same room as your parents and you just kind of sit there and stare at it. But that really weird commercial was Baby Driver, and I stayed there for the whole movie.
The really weird commercial I always see when my mom is watching TV is RuPaul's Drag Race or any other reality show.
My dad also watches garbage reality TV.
I thought you were going to say that your dad also watches RuPaul's Drag Race, and I was about to have very weird thoughts about your dad.
You know what? I wouldn't put it past him because he does like garbage TV, but that seems like more like something all of his exes would watch because they all seem to like the same stuff. It's weird. He
did that on purpose.
Well, I don't think he did it on purpose. I think he was caught in a trap.
Yeah. Poor guy. I love your dad.
I love my dad too.
He watches a lot of wrestling.
Yes, he does. Speaking of fighting events, are you going to Creator Clash?
So here's the thing. I didn't do any research on the tickets, but there's no way I'm driving from here to Tampa.
Well, you're not flying.
I'm not flying either. That's a 5-hour drive, which I've made that drive before, and well, not that specific drive. I mean, we went to Gatlinburg. Remember?
Yeah,
we attempted to vlog it and it didn't work out, so we just trashed the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
I want to do something like that again, and actually like do good at it.
Gatlinburg was not the move.
Listen, the only reason why it wasn't the move was because the skiing sucked that day.
Well, yeah, the weather was awful the entire time we were there, but
that sucked.
Like there's just not much. There's not a lot like to vlog about there. It's like, oh look, it will be like, you know, any like 100 subscriber family vlog channel. Going on the earthquake machine.
See all the fish I see.
Look at all the fishies.
I want to take a long road trip with you guys again because that was fun. But we just need to look at the weather next time.
Oh yeah.
That was stupid.
I have multiple vacations planned this year, which is kind of a first for me.
Tell me about them.
I mean, I go to
0.
AWA every year.
Right.
We actually just got the room situation figured out for that, so that's cool.
Oh.
Yep. Staying at an Airbnb this time.
All right. I've been wanting to go. I'm probably maybe going to try to go.
That's the sound of a man who's not going to go.
Hey, no, that's not true. You can't actually think that I'm not going to go because I said that. Said it like that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I'm also coming over to your neck of the woods in July, which you know
Right.
about. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to just not be in town. It's gonna be a good time.
I mean that's more of a you and Michael thing, so I'm not gonna be there the whole time, but yeah, it'd be nice to see you at least.
And then Bailey and I want to go and just visit you now that Kelly's moved in and everything.
Yeah, I think she would like that. You should come down and just move here.
I'd like to. Gotta get that money first.
Get it then, boy.
I'm trying.
I'm really making some good money doing what I'm doing right now, and I'm happy and comfortable where I am.
Yeah, well, they ghosted me. So
They didn't ghost you. They were just stupid. It's super weird how they do things. It's just third-party anythings are dumb.
oh, don't I know it?
Tell me about your experience, buddy.
All right, here's a little story for you guys. My apartment complex, they just recently introduced a third-party system to start paying for rent. It's just like another alternative form of payment. And my girlfriend is the one who pays the rent. I cover car payments. They equal about the same. And what ended up happening is this service, it's like a person to person transaction. So the money leaves my girlfriend's bank account and goes to this third party's account, and then goes to our actual rent. But what ended up happening is they took my girlfriend's money but couldn't pay the rent, but didn't give the money back. So we're like running around like a chicken with its head cut off on the day the rent's due. And finally, at 6 p.m., the day the rent is due, like the night it is due, otherwise we get an infraction. And they after so many, they will not allow you to renew your lease, or you'll get evicted. With just right before the cutoff, it went through because we had to go to the office and have them turn on a system to accept the form of payment that the third party was using. It's a bunch of bullshit is what it was. It's like,
yeah.
here's this new way to pay that doesn't work, but will take your money. But you can make it work if you go out of your way and you wait. Yeah, that's my experience living in an apartment. I kind of hate it.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame you. I actually don't mind this apartment. I think you would actually like this apartment. It's just, I don't know, the person at the front desk right now has been giving me a lot of, she's been rubbing me the wrong way, especially when it comes to mail. Because I get into these habits where I'll order a bunch of packages for no reason. Well, not for no reason, it's because I want them. But I'll order a bunch of packages, and not all of them get left at our door. They get sent to the office if they're too big. So the lady up there doesn't like a lot of clutter. So what she'll do is she'll give you 2 days to pick up the package, or she sends it back to the post office. And I work a job that I'm gone while they're open, which I've never understood. I never understood why places like this stay open during hours that people would be working. Like they have a regular 9 to 5 here, which, I mean, that's when most people are working. Would you agree?
Yes.
So I don't understand why people who work places like that don't at least stay open at like an hour or so earlier or later so that they can help the people that work. And they're not open on weekends. So they're like, you have 2 days to pick up your package or fuck you. You know? It's like, you can't just help me out a little bit. Can't drop it off at the house. It's like, no, because if your package gets stolen, then it's our fault. They're like, okay, but I'm telling you to leave it there. They're like, nope, you gotta go out of your way to come get it. And it's like, all right, I'll figure it out, I guess.
I mean, I guess you kind of have that problem solved now because you have someone at the house.
Yeah. I mean, ever since Kelly moved in, it's been easier, but it's still stressful because she works now too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not at the same degree, but I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
No, yeah, I totally get it. We have the same issue here. They'll randomly just say, yeah, the office is closed today, and give no warning. Shit like that. We have very shitty property managers, but rent is really cheap, and they leave us alone for the most part. So.
Yeah, we're left alone here pretty well. Shit, I mean, we've been here for 9 months now, and they haven't even inspected the apartment, which they were supposed to like 3 months ago, I think. Like they did maintenance, preventative maintenance, but other than that.
Yeah, most places are pretty lax.
Well, anyway, I guess that wraps up this episode for now. And you have any closing remarks? Anything you want to plug?
No. Hope you guys like my music. And maybe I'll make a video. Maybe it's coming out soon. Don't get your hopes up.
I'm working on recording something. That'll be out. But until then, see y'all later. Goodbye.
That's what racing is about.